Yet, Emma pretends to be happy in front of the other children to put them at ease. Norman leaves and gives Emma his address if she ever needs to find him. Late at night, Emma contemplates Norman's idea. She looks at the pendant that Mujika gave to her when they parted ways. Ray comes to her to find out what is bothering her. He can tell that Emma is not on board with Norman's plan and asks why. Emma reluctantly confesses that she finds the demon nature and society to be just as sophisticated. She also realizes that things won't go well even if Norman doesn't do anything. If they all manage to go to the human world, the demon's lack of human consumption will eventually lead to their degeneration and, therefore, extinction. She doesn't want that, and it's not only Norman's plan she doesn't want, but the extinction of the demon species. She just doesn't know what to do. Ray tells her that it's good that she spoke her mind, but she needs to say this to Norman before he strikes. Emma doesn't want to say anything to Norman without a solid plan. All she knows is that she doesn't want her newfound friends, Sanju and Mujika, to be caught in it. Ray suggests that she talks to Norman. Still, maybe he'd have a different plan. And maybe he would spare Sanju and Mujika, who have no problem going without human meat. Since they don't degenerate, maybe there's a chance they are immune. Something could be done with that to help humans and demons coexist. Ray encourages Emma to try her ideas as best as she can. It would be good for her to do what she wants so that she doesn't have any regrets. Emma ends up agreeing to pitch this to Norman. The next day, she and Ray make it to Norman's hideout. They meet with Norman's companions, who consider him their boss for dedicating so much of his time to see through their plan. They consider themselves his subordinates because he helped break them out of Lambda. One of them is Sislo, the chill one, Vincent, the one helping develop the drug, and Barbara, the one with demon meat in her hand. They tell Emma and Ray that Norman is in a meeting and ask them to wait a while for him. In the meantime, the two children find out that Norman has been the leader of this group and how he has been making his plan to eliminate all the demons. His subordinates are also excited to experience this extinction with their boss. Barbara even passionately expresses how good it feels to clap a demon and eat it too. Emma is shocked by the amount of passion she's showing for taking a demon's life, causing Sislo to tell Barbara to back off. She leaves and Norman arrives shortly to tell his subordinates about the final phase of their plan. He takes them outside, leaving Emma and Ray inside. Emma doesn't understand why revenge is part of the plan. She only wants to rescue the other children, not to make the demons extinct. She thinks it's evil and that even though the others were getting tortured by the demons at Lambda or anywhere else, revenge is not the answer. Norman comes back inside, and Ray immediately inquires about his plan. Norman shows them the portion he's created that is supposed to end all the demons. Ray asks if it will work on all the demons like the ones that don't degenerate even though they don't eat humans. Norman is taken aback to hear that Emma and Ray know about the existence of such demons. He asks them how they know, which puts Emma on the edge. Ray confesses that they have met the demons, shocking Norman. He asks them if one of the demons is a young-looking female demon, likely Mujika, to which Emma confirms. Norman is so shocked that he can't believe that they have met the girl he regards as the evil-blooded girl. Emma and Ray are surprised and ask if he's ever met her. Norman denies ever meeting her, but he has heard rumors of how she first showed up, after the humans and demons made the promise to stay away from each other. But before the human farms were established, Mujika suddenly appeared. She was known to not consume human meat because she possessed the evil blood that made her retain her form and intelligence. She offered her blood to the other demons in a starving village. The blood cured the other demons of hunger or ever needing to eat human meat again. The demons that she saved other demons the same way too. This happened for some time and spread around like some kind of infection. However, when the demon royals found out about it, they rallied up the infected demons and disposed of them by eating them to keep the evil blood out of the population pool. Mujika was rumored to have died along with the others, but as it is, she didn't die after all. Ray realizes that Mujika and Sanju travel around the world through the forest to avoid being caught by the royals. Emma doesn't understand why the royals would clap the infected demons. Their world hunger was starting to be solved. Why would they put a stop to that? Ray explains to her that it's because the royals are the ones controlling the farms, which gives them control over the population. If they control everything, they have power over everyone. Mujika curing the demons would diminish the demand they have created and, therefore, the power they have. Human or demon, some people aren't as nice as Emma is. Norman then tells Emma that they should find Mujika and Sanju and eliminate them. Emma doesn't agree with this because Sanju and Mujika didn't do anything. They also don't eat humans, so clapping them doesn't make sense. However, Norman tells her that they are still demons and won't just stand back and watch as their kind goes extinct. Emma suggests that they shouldn't clap any demons then, and that the demons could still just get cured by the evil blood. Norman doesn't take that. Emma says that they can just go to the human world, which would still lead to extinction over time. But it won't be directly done by them. Norman doesn't care for that suggestion either. He believes that the demons deserve to be eradicated because their nature won't change just because they stop eating their favorite thing. It's also unfair to ask someone to stop eating their favorite food. The better option is to just end their entire species. So says Norman. Emma remains hopeful. She shows Norman the coordinates to the gate that she has. She tells him that it's possible, but Norman shows her the same coordinates that he also has and tells her that there's nothing there. The many gates that were there have been destroyed and the only one that's left is back at Gracefield House where they escaped from. Emma's hope doesn't wane, though she thinks they can just go back there and try to access the gate. But, again, Norman knocks down her hope with the harsh truth. They have no allies in the human world, especially since William Minerva has died. He was clapped by his own people, humans who would rather turn a profit than be moral. And accessing the gate would be close to impossible because it's underground and heavily guarded by the very same people who want profit, both humans and demons. The only option left is for the children to make the demon world their own. Emma understands everything Norman is telling her, but she can't be deterred. She doesn't want to clap her friends or an entire species that's as sophisticated as her own. She would rather they come up with a different solution that benefits both humans and demons, but Norman doesn't care for that. He responds that he will do whatever it takes to save the people he wants to save. He doesn't need any other input. He prepares to leave to set his plans to action, but Emma takes his hand to stop him from walking away. She begs him to reconsider, but he can't see things from her perspective. She digresses and comes up with a deal. She suggests that she go to find Sanju and Mujika and bring them to Norman since he wants to find them. In return, Norman will spare the demons. She asks him to hold off on his plan until she finds the 2 demons, which might take 5 days. Ray decides to tag along with Emma since he supports her more than he supports Norman. Norman agrees to the idea and tells them to be careful. Emma and Ray take Gilda and Dawn to help them in their search for Mujika and Sanju. The search begins and the 4 children travel all around the forest, looking for footprints left by either Mujika or Sanju. But it's either the footprints are too big or too small to be Sanju's or Mujika's. They continue their search and soon start to worry a bit because they might fail. They wonder if they can really find 2 demons who are on the run. If they take too long and go further from the temple, they're afraid they won't be able to make it back in time to stop Norman. However, they try to keep a positive mindset for the sake of the demons and Norman as well. Soon, the 4 children come across the footprints of Sanju's horse and become hopeful. Right at that moment, a monster appears and immediately goes into attack mode. Emma gets injured and the pendant Mujika gave to her falls off and lands on some bushes. Emma is still fine since the injury is minor, and the other children are okay too. They all decide to fight the monster, but it's too big to take down with just a few shots of arrows. Emma tries to lure the monster away from the other 3 children by shooting at it and running away. The monster follows her, and the other 3 children follow the monster. Mujika and Sanju arrive at that very scene and see the gigantic footprints on the ground. They decide to get away from there since whatever it is that was there could return. As they turn around, Mujika spots the pendant that she gave to Emma and instantly realizes that Emma is in trouble. Emma keeps running from the monster but gets exhausted quickly. Luckily, Ray finds a chance to intercept the monster and shoot it with an arrow in the eye, causing it to slow down. Emma stops and quickly takes a break from the running. But out of nowhere, the monster gets up and launches itself at her, intending to devour her. Just as it seems like it's too late, the monster's head goes flying after getting severed from its body by Sanju's blade. Mujika rushes to check on Emma and the children become relieved to see the 2 demons. They try to quickly explain why they're back in the forest and tell the demons that they need their help to prevent something bad from happening. Mujika doesn't hesitate and agrees to help with whatever they need. But at that moment, they hear explosions. Emma realizes that Norman has gone ahead with the plan before her return as he promised. The demon town is quickly engulfed by flames as explosions go off at every corner. The air around there rapidly gets contaminated by a gas that immediately changes the demons' forms. The demons are confused and scared for their own lives and their families. When the affected demons transform, they immediately start to devour their loved ones, which is very scary to the unaffected demons. None of them understand what is happening or why it's happening. Norman watches as this unfolds. Vincent comes to tell him that the experiment went well, and the drug took effect just as predicted. Now they can wipe out the species, no problem. Norman is pleased to hear this, but a part of him apologizes to Emma for not keeping his promise. He believes that things must happen this way. When she comes back, it will all be over. Norman comes into the town with his subordinates, and they continue their massacre. The children still in the forest can't believe that Norman lied to them. But there's no point in wallowing in the betrayal. Emma asks for help from Mujika and Sanju to get to the town quickly, and the 2 demons offer it. Norman, back at the town, pulls out a knife and gets ready to clap a little demon named Emma and her grandfather, Vilk. When the 2 of them look back, they see Norman frozen in his place. He's experiencing conflicting emotions but refuses to be swayed by his doubts. As an explosion goes off behind him, sending another gust of the poisonous gas to the demons, he vows to not give up now. The gas starts to change Demon Emma into a degenerate, but her grandfather doesn't change. Norman realizes that Vilk is one of the demons who were once converted by Mujika 700 years ago. He charges at him, ready to clap him and Emma, but Vilk puts up his hand to block the attack. He turns around and asks the demon Emma to drink his blood and leave the town. This sight sends a spiral of emotions to Norman. He looks around to see families crying for their loved ones who have transformed into things they've never seen before. Norman is filled with sorrow and hesitation but refuses to give in to them. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.